Hello, my name is John Smith. I'm with Prevost Law Firm, and today I'm here with our client, Marsha. We just finished wrapping up Marsha's case, and she's been very gracious enough to spend time with us talking about it, which I very much appreciate. So, Marsha, thank you so much. So, Marsha, let's start with give me a little background about the nightmare of a situation that Titan put you in.
So I had bought my home in 2021. I was working with the utility concierge group. They sent references, are you interested in a security system? Are you interested in solar panels? So I was interested in solar. I had some friends from work who had panels and they were more than happy with the results, the savings. I didn't, vet any companies or anything, but they hooked me up with Titan. This was the summer of 22. And so we had a video call. They shared their screen, they scrolled down their device. They gave me, a gift of this is what it'd be. You have a 25-year warranty. Anything that happens, we've got you covered. We've been in business for decades. We're based here in the Metroplex. So everything I saw looked like a great opportunity. When you have a family, summertime, you're definitely trying to take advantage of savings and you can't beat a 25-year warranty. So whenever they came to do the inspection, um, the guy just kind of walked around the house. I didn't know what to expect, in a roof inspection. They talked about some tree trimming and, didn't hear anything for about a month and a half. So I called and left some voicemails, and then a third party group had gotten a hold of me and told me that they could come out. This was probably November by then. They came out, worked on my roof for a few hours, wrapped it up, and there was still panels just hanging on the side of my house. So I had to call back and say, hey, y'all left the stuff out here. Are you done? What's going on with my roof? And there was just no communication. So they came back for about 2 hours, said everything was good, told me everything. They turned the panel on and nothing was producing. So, when I got back with them, they were like, well, everything's out, that we need to do. So, what else do you expect? And then Titan wouldn't respond to me. Um, then, a few months passed. It got to be this time of year, rainy season. I had about 3 leaks that I hadn't had previously. Um, Titan once again was non-responsive. And, I kind of consider, what have I gotten into? I don't have any producing panels. I have these roof leaks. And then I was it 23 or 24, they actually filed bankruptcy. So now my system that didn't produce anything, I had no warranty. I had nothing to go off of. I just had gotten this loan statement, which was almost double of what they had quoted me at. And I didn't, what am I going to do? I'm in the hole this amount and I have gotten nothing but roof leaks and this eyesore. Um, so that's when I started, looking into my options, because, there was nothing to lose. So, getting online, they have various groups, and I had seen multiple recommendations to your law firm. So that's when I was like, let me see where they can get me headed in the right direction. And, part of the process was the roof inspection. And so I was absolutely horrified with the roof inspection. I'm very pleased that y'all had that as part of your process because my panels weren't even mounted correctly. That's all the roof damage. They're not at the right angle. So that was, part of the problem as well. So pretty much this system that I had wasn't even, worth a tenth of what it was. It looked like they said that the materials were already used. And so second grade material, not mounted properly there. I mean, it was just nothing but problems. So when I spoke with you guys initially, you walked me through the process. It did feel like a leap of faith, but all the communications that I've gotten, any texts that I've sent, any emails, you guys have always gotten back with me. Any communication, you've reached out and said, hey, make sure to check your email. So honestly, I couldn't be any happier with the process. It is a stressful process, because you're waiting on a lender that they don't care. They just want their money. But I was so happy with the results, and I'm so pleased in the time frame that it got, completed. And it was actually shorter than what it was quoted for.
Yeah, yours only took about a year. Yours faster than most people. So that was well worth the wait, I assume.
It was definitely worth the wait.
Okay. So we sued your lender for you because obviously Titan had gone out of business, and we got a settlement. The settlement prevents us from talking about the lender's name or any terms about the settlement agreement. But tell me this, how happy are you with the result?
I am so happy with the results. I feel like my biggest weight is off of me. The company, I don't know how they stay in business, just because I feel like they're using dishonest practices, and they're fine with that as long as they make a profit. So to be able to, say, hey, I'm past that. You don't have that over my head anymore, pun intended. I'm so pleased with that. Like, I just honestly, sounds cliche, but I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off of me.
We hear that a lot. I loved your pun. That was a very clever pun there. I'm going to use that later. So tell me, let's see, last question here is, what would you say to somebody who's thinking about hiring Prevost Law Firm to help with their solar panel case?
I would definitely recommend your practice to anybody that is in a situation like the one I was in. I just felt so hopeless. I felt like I had no avenue to turn to. And to get the result, I mean, everything has been resolved with that. Next step, I don't know. I'm not opposed to solar panels, but definitely not with Titan. They're gone. Yeah. But I would definitely say there's a lot of lenders out there. You've got to be very careful, because they do a lot of practices where they get you in the situation that I was in, and they do that purposefully. And so I would say having your law firm that's able to help the consumers, that's able to treat the homeowners and give them their voice back. I mean, nothing compares to that.
That's awesome to hear, Marsha. Well, I am so excited with the results we got you, and just your situation was one of the worst we've heard. So I'm so grateful for the result we got you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So Marsha, thank you for spending time with me today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.